Hello and welcome. Silrace here with WoW Classic. This is going to be a video about min-maxing race and class combinations for Alliance characters. Not Horde, for Alliance, alright? Now, let me preface this with something. I'm going to talk about min-maxing class race combinations. You will not need to do that in this game. Let's be honest about that. No matter what race and class combination you go for, if you are good at your class, if you're good at playing it, you will find your place in raids, in dungeons, in whatever. PvP, so on. It does not need to be min-maxed combination at all. That said, I want to talk about the min-max combination because that matters to some people. Alright? So let's talk about that. Now, first thing I want to mention before I talk about the things is that Dwarven Stone form removes poisons on your character. Remember that Blind, the rogue ability, Blind is considered a poison. This means that when it comes to PvP, being a dwarf allows you to remove blind by use of a racial ability. That is pretty damn strong for PvP, so if you are wanting to duel rogues and whatnot, you wanna be a dwarf. Other than that, I just wanted to mention that first to remind everybody that this is what Stoneform does. That's why it's so strong in PvP. I'm gonna go through this class by class basis instead of race by race basis because it makes more sense that way. And let's start then. So first of all, Hunter. This is the combination you want for PvE. Night Elf Hunter. Night Elf has slightly higher agility base than Dwarf Hunters do, so that's basically the selling point. Then, well, may fade into shadows, which is shadow meld. That is a little bit of use for PvE and also for PvP, do note that. So there is that. However, as mentioned, Dwarven Hunter is the PvP combination you want for Stoneform. Gun skill, late game guns, as in especially raid tier guns, don't really exist, but it will be a little bit useful while leveling up, especially if you are engineer or can get guns from an engineer. Something to mention. So basically PvE, this is combo, PvP, this combo. Alright? Moving on to a Mage, where this is the combination you want for both PvE and PvP. Yeah. PvP wise, because of this thing, because of being able to escape from various things, and because of increased intelligence being massively useful for both PvE and PvP. Now, there is something to be said about being a human mage and having a stealth detection increase for PvP. However, sword and mace is kind of useless, and the spirit increase isn't that massive for mage. It will help a little bit in PvE, but overall, just having bigger mana pool is the thing. So, this is the combination you want for PvE and PvP as a mage. Paladin. This is where Dwarf eats the cake in both PvE and PvP. Stoneform is a little bit used in PvE, but it is massive of massive use in PvP, obviously, for a Paladin. Something to be said about human Paladin having sword and mace skill increase if you want to try and be a melee Paladin, and spirit increase being somewhat reasonable when it comes to being a healing Paladin, and then stealth detection obviously for PvP. However, this is overall the stronger combination. Moving on to the Priest, where this is the winning combination for PvE and PvP. Stoneform, obviously PvP. However, Priest-wise, what you have here is Fear Ward, because the Priests get specific spells tied to the race. And Dwarf Priest is the only one who gets a fear ward, which allows you a character to be immune to one fear. There are raid encounters where having that ability can be of massive help. However, let's be honest, priests do not need that. I mean, you do not need to be Dwarf Priest to get into raids as a priest. Healers are always needed, priests are always needed, so on. Just saying that this is the combination you want if for both PvP and PvE if you want to main max. Something to be said, however, about a human priest for increased spirit, because of the mana regeneration from the spirit being so very good for PvE healing. And for PvP, obviously, you then get stealth detection, which might help against some rogues trying to get you when you are trying to heal PvP. And, well, you can play this combination as well, but it doesn't offer any min-maxing benefits over Dwarf. And not really any over being human priest as well. And moving on to the rogue, where, well, let's start with this combination. Human rogue, this is the PvE winner because of this sword and mace specialization. Swords here are the raiding weapon for rogue for most of the time. So that is going to be the big deal. Having this increase in a sword skill mean you need less hit plus hit gear, and so you can focus on other things. So this is the winning combination for PvE. PvP wise, we have an interesting conundrum, because Escape Artist is really good for PvE. So this not PvE, PvP. Making a mistake there. No, PvP. Escape Artist is really good, because typically your problems as a rogue is that you come out of stealth and somebody, you know, stops you from moving. You want to be able to move. So it really comes between Gnome for Escape Artist or Dwarf if you want to, especially if you want to duel other rogues, because Stone Form removing blind is such a strong thing when you're trying to deal with another rogue. Escape Artist, I would argue, is overall more useful than the Stone Form for a rogue. So Gnome Rogue being the PvP king, followed by Dwarf Rogue, and final combination being here, which does not offer any actual advantages when it comes to PvE or PvP. It's a combination you can play though. Then you have a second stealth, I guess. Moving on to Warlock, where again Gnome is the king because of increased intelligence in PvE, and in PvP you get Escape Artist, which is fantastic. For a class which is lacking mobility tools, being able to get out of roots and snares is useful. Of course, you can play this combination as well. It just offers no benefits whatsoever over the Gnome when it comes to min-maxing, because Spirit is pretty much useless stat for a Warlock. Stealth detection, a little bit of use for PvP, and this is basically useless ability as well. And finally, moving on to the Warrior, where Human is the king for PvE because of sword and mace increase. Swords are the endgame raiding weapon for warriors, especially if you are tanking. And so having this means that you need less plus hit gear again to be able to hit your targets when tanking, and being able to hit your targets allows you to generate rage, allows you to maintain aggro. You need that. So this is the winning combination when it comes to PvE. PvP wise, you are looking at here, because the biggest problem with warriors is to sticking your targets, and Escape Artist allows you to do that a little bit better. Now, Dwarven warriors have the stone form, which can be of some use. Definitely against rogues as well, because of blind removal and such. However, this is the stronger combo overall for PvP because of that. And finally, you can play this combination and, well, charging, especially in PvP, charging right out of a shadow meld can be kind of amusing and whatnot, and having extra dodge is sort of nice, but it doesn't really offer winning combination over a human for PvE or over gnome or dwarf when it comes to PvP. Now, hopefully that was helpful, hopefully that was informative to somebody out there. And remember, you do not need to min-max your race and class combo. Play what you find aesthetically pleasing, play what you find you want to play. You will get your raid spots, you will get your PvP spots, whatever, if you know how to play your class. Thank you very much for watching.